let's talk about something that isn't Shamar Stewart. So, Al Golden responded to questions whether or not we were going to pick up a safety in free agency moving forward. And here's what he had to say. He says, "We have a great personnel department. We rely on them heavily for the 3 picks that we had on defense. We hit on all of them." Sorry, a little cough there, cough. We're not talking about Shamar Stewart here in this video. It's really hard to not to when you point it out. Anyway, Demetrius Knight looks like an absolute stud so far, even though he's not on the contract. So I'm very happy about Demetrius Knight. So, yes, we have drafted 3 defensive players. I will say I'm very disappointed still we didn't draft a safety. You already know, if you watch the channel, you know who I wanted with the 17th overall pick. Malachi Starks from Georgia. Such a beautiful pick. And he went to the Ravens. Oh, that's so painful. I literally had his jersey ordered on draft night. I was that convinced in my brain we were going to get him. Because last year I did the same thing with Chris Jenkins. I had his jersey already ordered on draft night that we were going to take him in the second round. Because that was the guy I expected us to take, and we did. So that worked out. This one did not. I feel like they do it way better than we do it in terms of marriage between needs and things that are open right now. Then also looking at it from the standpoint of cap. So if there's opportunities to make our team better, I know they're going to do it. Well, we have $32 million, right? So we have the cap to go out there and get somebody, number one. Number two, again, we did not address safety in the draft. We also only picked up 1 undrafted safety since the draft, which I thought was really disappointing because, probably be a good idea to pick up the one position that I feel like we need the most help at right now. Not for per se as a starter, but as a backup, rotational guy. Outside of that, obviously offensive guard, a true veteran starter would be nice. So I don't know how much I like the response by Al here. I know obviously Al is saying pretty much, hey, listen, trust the process. We believe in the guys who are making these decisions on who we should and shouldn't pick up. We like the guys on our roster pretty much. Like, again, Al's saying all the correct things. It's just, I look at the roster and I say, hey, we probably need a backup safety. Because especially last year, Tyson Anderson, strictly a special teamer. And he's already come out and say he wanted to be the best special teamer this upcoming season. Problem is, he's played 0 snaps in all last year on defense. And now he is the direct backup to Geno Stone. The other guy we have is our 7th round pick, Anthony. No problem there, except for after the PI call versus KC, he's played 11 snaps on defense since then. And obviously a rookie coming off of that, I just like to see a veteran. That's just my personal opinion. I like to see a veteran rotational guy. I have no problem if they're like, hey, listen, even though we didn't give Anthony any shot after that, we really believe in him and he's having a good OTAs and, mandatory minicamp. We have faith he could be that guy. No big deal at all. Get a veteran in there and rotate. It's never a bad idea to have a fresh body out there, especially with how long these games can be. And if our defense does struggle like they did last year, we already know what can happen with long drives. Okay, long drives, problems start happening if you don't have rotational guys to sub in, sub out, right? You need to have another guy to come in and take over if something is, a problem. We have a 90-man roster right now and $32 million, and it doesn't seem like we're going to figure anything out right now with Trey Hendrickson. By the way, that $32 million is also taking in consideration Shamar Stewart and Demetrius Knight Jr.'s contract, by the way. So when I say $32 million, it takes in consideration those 2 contracts added all the way on the cap, $32 million. So just keep that in mind when I say $32 million. we're talking about already those contracts on top. So again, we have the money. There's options available. Why not just go out there and take a shot? So he does continue to say they did that when I was here last time. I really think that whether it was waivers with Joe Bacci last time I was here, or we went out and got Clay Johnston or Keandre Jones, all those guys who played linebacker that ended up being really good group because of what they did upstairs. And I understand that. I do truly, because as a coach, you have to believe. You have to trust the process of, the front office to do the right thing and make the correct decision. Obviously, we have our opinions as fans of the front office. I've expressed my opinions on this channel of the front office many times. But at the same time, again, from Al's point of view, he doesn't control this. They give him the players. He works with what he has, right? But I'm just saying, from my point of view, I think we should probably pick up a veteran safety as a rotational piece. But I understand from Al's point of view, this is kind of the best he's going to say, because at the end of the day, his job is to take whatever they give him and make gold out of it, pretty much. At the end of the day, whether or not he can or can't, because if the front office doesn't help him out enough, we'll have to wait and see. I have a lot of faith in Al. Obviously, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I've watched him coach my defense at Notre Dame for the last couple of years. He is an amazing coach. He's an amazing defense coordinator. He can really, and I'm not saying our defense is crap, by the way, but he can turn crap into gold. He can. That's just how he is. He's a really good leader. He knows what he's doing, and he's really good at pushing a defense in the correct direction and making sure they stick to what they need to stick to. That's just how Al is as a coach, and I'm very happy for that. I'd like to give him as much help as possible, though, because why not, So, it is what it is. See you guys in the next one, though. Peace out.